Hi. Thank you so much for coming today. We're really delighted at the turnout. And we have a fantastic lineup of speakers for you today. So my name is Paul Sullivan from Bradford University, and I'm the new chair of the History and Philosophy of Psychology section of the BPS. So today's talks are run through the History of Psychology Centre with the BPS, and in conjunction with the History and Philosophy of Psychology section. As I say, we have a really fantastic lineup of speakers. What I particularly like about the spirit of today's talk is that an increasing atmosphere of emotional, I suppose you could say, individuation. That now we're examining the cultural, the historical, and the individual. In a way, for me, it resonates with my deep passion for Vygotsky's work. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's not going to be a big feature of today. But I just want to draw attention to how important this is, almost as a countercultural effort against the increasing trend towards emotional dysregulation, regulation, individuation. So we have an absolutely fantastic lineup of speakers. To kick us off, we have Professor Fraser Watts, who's a long and distinguished career both in the psychology of religion and in clinical psychology. And he will be starting with a very basic question, but a very relevant question, which is why study the history of emotion? And following Fraser, we'll have Dr. Sally Holloway, who will give us a talk on love and heartbreak, searching for happiness in a civilized society, and who's written a book called The Game of Love in Georgian England. And following Sally's talk, we'll have a talk by Dr. Sarah Cheney at 12 o'clock called Compassion, Gender, Vocation and Self-Sacrifice in Nursing. And again, who's written an amazing book called Psyche on the Skin, A History of Self-Harm. Following Sarah, we have one more talk before lunch, and that's delivered by Dr. Richard Firth, God be here, who will treat us to an examination of disgust, new emotion, old experience. Following that, we'll have lunch, 45-minute lunch break, where we can reflect and talk animatedly about the wonderful talks we've just experienced. Following lunch at 1:45, we have Dr. Tiffany Watt-Smith giving us a talk on Schadenfreude, how English speakers learnt malicious glee. And who, again, has written an amazing book called Unflinching, the Book of Human Emotions. And following that, we'll have Professor Thomas Dixon treating us to a talk on anger, from deadly sin to basic emotion. And Thomas has a huge list of publications and books that are really well worth reading. Following that, we'll have a panel discussion, which will be chaired by Fraser here on my right. Now, before I finish, I just want to plug the next conference for the History and Psychology Section Conference, which is in 2019, between the 3rd and 5th of July, and it's run in conjunction with the Qualitative Method in Psychology Conference, the QMIP conference. And that'll be in Cardiff. Cardiff Met University are running that conference. So again, we'll pick up on many of these themes in that conference for people who are interested. Also, just to let you know that during registration at the lunch interval, relevant material from Senate House Library will be on display, and representatives of the History and Philosophy of Psychology section will be on hand to talk about the work of the section, to take membership in inquiries. I'd like also to thank the invaluable support of Rosie Horn and Sophie Yurka, who have been of great assistance in helping us to get this together, and of course the Fraser here on my right, for doing the vast bulk of the organising of the speakers. Okay, after each talk we'll have some time for questions and answers. Okay, thank you very much.